Hi everybody, it's me. I are three uh raccoon, and I'm back with another episode of Story Time with Ravioli. Unfortunately, I was sick last week, guys. My bad, but for now I feel better. Un, but I do have to say that the first Story Time with Rottweiler was probably a fluke, and this one will probably be just as funny. Who knows? Who can tell at this point? So if you're ready, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this story. And I'll have you know though, this is a war story, and yeah, I have been to war multiple times. I've fought in the Vietnam War, the Afghan War, World War II, and most recently World War One. As a matter of fact, here's some sick GoPro footage. They are over there. Fall back behind it.
The horses! Kill the horse! God damn it!
Get behind the building, dude. Get behind the building so we don't die. Wait, what do you got against the horse?
Because the horse looks like it has a person.
Oi, I'm under attack.
Ah, I got shot in the head!
I'm coming for you, dude. I am a medic. I can revive you. Run!
Ah!
Due to unfortunate circumstances, the Super Bowl did not survive the battle, but I did because I am an immortal vampire named Edward Cullen. Anyways, the setting for this story is at one of my aunt's house. Her name was Carmen, and she used to babysit me because I was a 6-year-old little toddler kid thing deal person. She had 2 girls and 2 boys. The girls are completely fucking irrelevant to this story, so they can go play with Barbies or whatever the fuck. The 2 boys were named Ray and Abraham. Ray was the oldest of the 2. They lived in a quiet street that had barely, like, literally no cars drove by. Like, it was weird because it was, like, right next to a school, but it was, like, no one, like, showed up in this direction. Like, no one. So we were able to play in the front yard and shit. We're like, oh! Because over here at my grandma's house we were, but at my house I could not. And it was like, Anyways, so we could play in the front yard and we could play in the street, but Ray could go out and he can actually like go into like the other street, down the street with his friends, but we could not. We weren't allowed to do that because we were like 6. Me and Abraham were like 6. One day my dad brought me a super soaker and I was like, oh shit, it's about to go fucking live. It's about to get live. It's about to get lit. People are gonna die and shit. And I was like, can I take it to Carmen's house? And my dad was like, yeah, sure, why not? I don't care. And just as long as she lets you, like, actually fill it up with water and use it. And I was like, yes! So one day when I was going over there, I took the Super Soaker, and I took a smaller, like, handgun, water gun. And, we went, and it was alright, right? I asked, Carmen, I was like, hey, can me and Abraham play outside? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, can we fill this up with water and actually, like, shoot him around? And she was like, sure, I don't care, just... or make sure that she was like, did you bring any change of clothes? And I was like, no. And she's like, all right, I'll give you some of Abraham's clothes. And I was like, all right, cool, that's cool. And then so me and Abraham changed like clothes, and I was like, I'm in your clothes, and he's like, shut up. And I was like, but these are mine now. And he's like, no, they're not. And I was like, ugh. And then sorry, I still got a persistent cough. Anyways, so we go outside and we start shooting each other with the water guns, right? I have my Super Soaker. He has a smaller version. Mine was like a little bit more powerful and a little bit more cooler because I was the shit. And his brother is like walked outside, and I think his brother was gonna go have a water balloon fight. And he sees my Super Soaker and he's like, hey, can I see it? And I was like, yeah, sure. You know, being a little kid, I was like, yeah, sure. Here, hold it. You can use it. You can fire it at Abraham if you want. And he was like, all right, cool. And he took it, and then he got on his bike, and I was like, wait, where are you going? He's like, I'm gonna go to my friend's house, we're gonna have a water balloon fight. And I was like, but you can't take my Super Soaker, that's mine, that belongs to me. It is mine, it is my property. Look at me, I am the owner of that Super Soaker. And he was like, so? And then he pushed me down and he shot me in the chest, and I was like, and then he rode away on the bicycle, and I was like, because he went down the street, and I wasn't allowed to go down the street because I was just a young child. Oh god. And then so I was like, no, and I'm pretty sure I started crying like a little girl. You know, I was crying because he took my Super Soaker, and I only had the little small one that could like fire like maybe 10, 20 shots, and then it was done. And so Abraham was like, "What do we do now?" And I was like, "We're getting it back. I don't care." And there was another kid that lived on that street that was as old as us. I actually don't know if he might have been a little bit older. Ray was like maybe 11 or 12, so he was significantly older than us. Actually, was he? I don't remember. He was significantly older than us, so he's at least older than us by like 4 years. So we enlisted the help of this other kid, and he brings out another smaller version of the Super Soaker, and Abraham was like, "You want me to go grab Ray's Super Soaker?" And I was like, "No, I'm taking this back with my gun." So I had my little pistol water gun, and I was like, I go inside, and then Carmen didn't see me, because I'm pretty sure she would have stopped me. But I go in, and I dump out the water, and because I'm a complete fucking asshole, I put in some soap, and then I refilled it back with water, and then I shook it, and when I sprayed it, it came out kind of like it shot out regular water, but the water was like foamy, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to cause maximum damage for when I got my thing back. I knew what I was doing. I know exactly that I knew what I was doing. So we pack up, you know, and we head off. We head off down the street without Carmen knowing, without Abraham's mom knowing. And we go, and we take the kid with us, and I ride on the kid's pegs, and then Abraham rides his bike down there, because Abraham was allowed to, but I couldn't go. I was just a little kid. I wasn't Carmen's child, so she couldn't hold the responsibility of having me go out and being stupid, basically. So we go, and we get there, and they're kind of like in the middle of like their side yard and the backyard, you know, like firing at each other. And I was like, Ray was like in the side yard, and I was like, I want my Super Soaker back, because I was playing with it. And then he fires at us, and I was like, oh shit! And so we took cover behind one of the cars, and we were pretty much like under fire for a whole solid 20 minutes. Like, it was non-stop relentless. It was water balloons like exploding next to us, and it was like, I was like, take fucking cover! Well, obviously I wasn't saying bad words. I was like, guys, gee whiz, get to cover, guys. It's spooky, scary. And then so I was like, it was wild. It was like, oh my god, like, this water balloon's going everywhere. There's water going everywhere. We're just stuck behind this fucking like van and shit. It's like, oh my god, what are we to do with our lives? And it was very, very spooky. You know, it was just a terrible time. And then they stopped firing at us, and then I guess they went back to their Ray told us, like, he was like, go back home, or I'm telling Mom that you brought Victor over here. And Abraham was like, we need to go back. And I was like, no, I have an idea. And so my idea was genius. Because they hadn't seen exactly what I had, they just knew that I had Abraham's clothes. I swapped out my shirt with his, and then I gave him a little wristband that I had. You know, Ray knew the wristband. It was like a little yellow wristband that I wore on my right hand. So I snuck around through the other side yard, because at this point they had moved to the backyard, and there was two side yards. I think they were guarding the first side yard, and I was gonna go around the house to the other side, and I was gonna hop the fence. I was gonna go around, and when I would command, whenever I'd yell out "go," they'd start firing. Right? Abraham and the other kid, I don't remember the other kid's name. They'd start firing at them, you know, get their attention, and then I'd just bust a sprint, grab my fucking Super Soaker, and then rip it out of Ray's hand and just run like hell. That was the idea, right? So I was like, I got this. This is it. We're gonna do this. And so I told them, I was like, all right, this is how we're gonna do it. And they were like, okay. And so I was like, all right. We swapped shirts, you know. I tucked my pistol in my back pocket, in like my back, you know, kind of like a motherfucking gangster, and and I started sneaking. I peeked a little, making sure that they weren't there, so they wouldn't discover that we swapped shirts. And I sneaky beakied on over. I was like sneaky beaky like. I snuck over to the side yard, and you know, I was fucking. James Bond didn't have shit on me. James Bond, the Men in Black, the CIA, fucking MLB, and no one had any fucking sneaky. They weren't as sneaky as I was that day, guys. There was no way anybody could be that sneaky. I was just fucking, I was just alive, you know. Dude, it was like watching Totally Spies, except it was real, and I wasn't a girl, and I didn't have a purse that came with like a makeup thing that like shot lasers and shit. And sorry, I had to take a breath right there. So what ends up happening is I hop the fence and I say go, and my plan worked, right? Like they didn't see me, so I started running at them, and I realized that there was a kid on the swing, and he saw me, so he goes like, guys, look out behind you, because he gives us like the little brother for one of them, and I was like, oh my god, and then, like, they turned around and they saw me, and I was like, fuck, because I knew it was over, I knew I was gonna get shot, I knew something was gonna happen, right, and I was like, oh no, so I was already like in a full-blown sprint, or whatever a full-blown sprint would be for a little child like me, so I was already running. And I pulled out my pistol and I aimed it at Ray, and I aimed it up towards his face, and I shot 4 sprays. I remember that so vividly. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I turned it to the other kid and I shot him once before I got shot in the face too by my own super soaker. But I only got shot in the face by my super soaker by pure dumb luck on Ray's side, because he was screaming in agony. I had gotten him in the eyes with with dish soap water. Like, now I feel bad, you know. It was like, oops, I've kind of fucked up. But at that point in time, I was like, this nigga asked for it. This nigga deserves it. He ain't shit, you know. And I grabbed my super soaker, and meanwhile I'm being shot. I'm being hit by the hose and shit, and we bust a sprint. And like, you know, I was like, get on the bikes, and I hop on the pegs for Abraham's bike this time, and we just jet down back into the back to Carmen's house. But by this time it was too late. She had already came outside and she figured out that I had left the yard. So she told my dad, and my dad whooped my ass. And that was the story about how I got my ass whooped, because they took my my super soaker. It doesn't matter at this point because the super soaker broke, because Chris, being a little kid, or Chris being way younger than me, he got a hold of my super soaker, and I don't know what he did. I think he dropped it or some shit, and he broke it. And that was the end of the super soaker. Fuck you, Chris. Fuck you. Hi everybody, Recon here. Surprise, this is an end card. Let me know what you guys liked about the video. Let me know what you didn't like about the video. Did y'all like the cutaway for Battlefield 1? Did y'all not like the cutaway for Battlefield 1? Who knows? Who can tell? Only you guys know. I'm sorry again for being sick last week. I'm truly sorry. I'm trying to do this one a week, and I'm sorry for how long this end card's gonna be. Again, I'm gonna try to make this shorter next time. Let me know if you guys want to see some drunk scary gaming. I can do that as well for Halloween, or maybe y'all guys want to see some, or maybe you guys want to hear some spooky scary creepypastas. I'll read them out. I can try. I probably won't be good at it, but I can definitely try. But again, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys let me know what y'all liked and didn't like. And I'll guys see y'all later. Peace.